uh, on the main level of the Rossmore.
And you are the owner and the operator of the
Correct.
Northern Belle Tattoo. And you began in an apprenticeship in 2012 and you completed it in 2017.
Yes, it was quite the journey.
And you started in Dallas.
So I completed my apprenticeship here, but right after that, I did move to Dallas and spent a few years tattooing there. Um, and I couldn't stay away from Minnesota. I had to come back.
My grandfather used to say that being in Minnesota is like rubber band or a rubber binder for
Mhm.
the Minnesotans, that you can only go so far before you're pulled back.
That is very true.
My parents moved around a lot, but we always would come home and he would say, "Yeah, you all will be back. You all will live here." And
Mhm.
just about everyone came back, and he was right. So tell me about the experience of going to your Northern Belle tattoo. If someone were to come during the art crawl, what would it be like?
Yeah, well, so on during every day, we are very calm. We're a private studio. We don't do walk-ins usually unless we're having a special event. Um, I would say it's more of a boutique-y feel compared to your traditional tattoo shops. You can't come in and just pick out anything off the wall. If you come into my shop, you will sit down, you'll have a conversation with an artist about what you're hoping to get, your vision and bringing that to life. Um, During the art crawl, we will be showcasing some other types of art that our artists do, as well as some of their family members, and just kind of combining the two, the tattoo side of things and the fine art side of things. Um, we will have some artists available during the crawl to possibly chat about ideas.
Mhm.
We also have some online things that we'll be showcasing that day. I don't want to share too much, but you'll
Right.
just have to come in and see.
So there are about 10 artists that will be
So
joining you?
there's 5 of us that work, at the tattoo studio, and then just kind of our loved ones are jumping in with us too.
So when you go in, half the studio will be still doing
Correct.
tattoos,
Yep.
and you're just asking folks to be very respectful.
Yes, please. If
Yeah.
you do come in, half of the studio will be kind of blocked off just, with our normal appointments for the day. So if you do come in, just kinda stay quiet, look around, like normal gallery
Yeah.
rules.
Mhm.
And then the other half of the shop will have, products for sale. We'll have, earrings, bracelets, balms, and then, art, lots and lots of art.
And you encourage walk-ins to look at that art and purchase,
Yes.
but not the day that you're just gonna be able to come in and say, "Hey, this is great. I want a tattoo too."
Yeah, yes. Unfortunately, not this time. We do have events like that, but not for art crawl.
We were talking earlier about the rise of folks wanting tattoos. And I had shared that I was very surprised that when my mother was in her 80s, she was sort of confessing to me that she wanted a tattoo and she wanted a little rose. And I was like, really? I mean, this is a very conservative woman suddenly wanting a rose. Um, and you were sharing that there are, it's very intergenerational. There's
It's
lots of,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, I have had so many 60-plus-year-old clients that, are now wanting their very first tattoos because they're seeing their kids, their grandkids, like, they're seeing everyone else getting the tattoos they've wanted, and they're like, "I have always wanted this art on my body, but it's just been so stigmatized that
Mhm.
I haven't felt comfortable to do it until now." So
And you think COVID also had an impact?
I do. I think people got very introspective during the lockdown
Mhm.
and realizing, life is short and why not get that art that you've always wanted?
And, do people come in with an image that they say, "This is what I want," or is it more, "W this is an idea I have, and will you work with me on that?"
Yes, it's usually a very at least at our shop, it's a very flexible, collaborative thing so
Mhm.
that some people come in and they don't have any reference images. They just kinda say, "I want, this flower with this animal on this body part. What can we do? And we're like, I got you. Mhm.
But you also have people bring in pictures of their pets.
Yep. Oh, that's a very, very common one. I love pet portraits. I could do pet portraits every day.
And it's a way of acknowledging that that's important to you.
Yeah.
Have you really work with them to help them express their personal art, because this is something obviously that they want permanently. They want to express themselves with their body, with their art. It seems like that is indicating something bigger than just I want to wear a tattoo. It seems like there's a claiming.
Tattoos are, I think, the ultimate form of ownership over
Mhm.
yourself and your identity. And they can be a really affirming thing for a lot of different reasons. It's very special. So we are artists trying to create the best art for our clients, but the clients themselves are really driving the
Mhm.
message, and we do our best to convey that.
And you have different artists with different styles.
Yes.
And if you want to go ahead and give the website so folks could check it out.
Yeah, check it out, northernbelltattoo.com, and that's Bell with an E, Belle, northernbelltattoo.com.
And I noticed that you have a lot of flora and fauna.
Yes.
And
Flora, fauna, faces. That's my specialty.
and animals.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I highly encourage, take a look. And if this is something that you've just kind of always dreamed about and you want to dip your toe in and just be able to see what it's all about, come down to the Northern Bell Tattoo, take a look at the process. You might not know what does it all entail, and you want to kind of get a sense of it. And there may be a piece of art that you've always wanted to have, and that this is an opportunity for you to make that decision and claim that art for yourself. So there's more fun at the St. Paul Art Crawl. We're going to continue in our next segment. We're going to hear from Linda Casone and the Spatial Effects Gallery and the wonderful Minnesota artists who will be featured during the Art Crawl. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Get ready for a springtime adventure like no other. The St. Paul Art Collective is thrilled to announce the return of the St. Paul Art Crawl. This iconic event spans over 4 weekends from April 14th to May 7th. The St. Paul Art Crawl features over 200 talented artists across 10 unique art districts in St. Paul. This year's Art Crawl promises to be bigger and better than ever before, with even more artists showcasing their incredible work. Explore the city's vibrant neighborhoods and let your creativity run wild as you discover the unique visions of each artist. Immerse yourself in a world of art and culture that is sure to inspire and amaze. Not only will you have the opportunity to witness some of the most incredible art the Twin Cities has to offer, but you can also help ensure the best experience for both artists and visitors by making a donation. So wander the St. Paul Art Crawl and discover the wonder of it all. That's 4 unforgettable weekends spanning April 14th through May 7th. For more information about the Spring Art Crawl and how to donate, visit stpaulartcollective.org.
Hi, this is Chad from AM 950. Snap Construction is arguably the most well-reviewed roofing, siding, window, and insulation contractor in the metro. Ryan is so excited about working with AM 950 and our listeners that he wants to help us grow.
This is Ryan, owner of Snap Construction. I was friends with Chad long before I started marketing with him. I was a bit skeptical of radio advertising before Chad convinced us to run ads. The advertising's been so successful, we want to help the station grow. We've absolutely loved working with the listeners of AM 950, and we all know how extremely important this radio station is to the community. To help AM 950 grow, Snap Construction will be putting up proceeds to assist the station in marketing on social media. Snap Construction encourages you to follow, engage, share, and interact on the AM 950 social media platforms. Together, we can all work to ensure AM 950 continues to thrive and grow in our communities. We stand by our work with a lifetime craftsmanship guarantee. For a free estimate or more information on our financing, call 612-333-SNAP or check us out online.
Tune in this Saturday morning right here on AM 950 for the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show from 7 to 8 a.m. We'll be discussing the world of seeds, understanding heirloom, organic, F1, F2, hybrid, as well as spring lawn maintenance. Our guest is author Kelly Smith Tribble, and we'll answer your garden questions. That's all this Saturday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on AM 950. Tell a friend and let's grow together.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. Even though Auto Technical is a small nonprofit, we have helped more families with transportation than any organization in Minnesota. Since '94, we have reconditioned donated vehicles so they have a higher tax benefit. Call Richard at 612-919-5526, 612-919-5526, or autotech.org.
Why must the world be so cold? They've gone against what was told. Thinking rape is cool, think about it. They think it's not wrong, violence against women, the rape, the abuse, the emotional, physical. They all hold the hate, think about it. Is it right or wrong? What attracts you? I'm not saying no names, but you laugh. Talk about it like nothing is wrong. Think about it. They all hold the hate. Gotta stop the violence. Stop the hate, think about it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Welcome back to Connections Radio Show. I'm Lori Fitz, your host, and I'm so excited that we have the St. Paul Art Crawl going on right now. So if you're in your car and you might want to pull over to St. Paul, take in the art crawl. This is a great time to do it. If you're at home, make some plans. You can go to the stpaulartcollective.org and learn all about the event. But it is going on today. It started yesterday, April 14th through the 16th. It also will be next weekend, the 21st through the 23rd. The weekend after that, the 28th and the 30th, and also May 5th through the 7th. Different districts are featured. This is a new way of doing the art crawl. It's especially nice for artists who will be able to see other art and not just have to be with only their art and then it's done. They can now, cross-pollinate with the art and take a look at some of the other districts and what's going on. I have some wonderful people here to talk about the show. We've had a chance to talk with Tim Jenin. Hi, Tim. Thanks for And Tim is with the Lowertown Lofts Artist Cooperative. If you missed that first segment, you can go to our podcast. You can go to am950radio.com and go to the Connections logo and click on it. You can listen to the latest radio show. Northern Belle Tattoo. We just heard from Alex Hall.
Hi, yes.
Yes. I've already
Thank
been
you.
thinking. I'm starting to think of what do I want? Might be a horse, maybe my dog. We'll see.
I'm ready for you.
And then we have Linda Casone is joining us with the Spatial Effects Gallery.
Hi there.
Hey. And we have Andrew Webster with Master Framers.
Hi, Lori. Thanks for having us.
Oh, I'm just delighted. If you all have been to the St. Paul Art Crawl, you know how wonderful it is. If you haven't, it's really about local artists who are representing 10 different districts in St. Paul. And it's put on by the St. Paul Art Collective since 1991. It is the longest running art crawl in the United States. So you can go and support hundreds of talented local artists. You can enjoy local food, live music. You can dance. You can see dance. There's all kinds of different venues. There's gallery spaces, artist lofts. It's very casual. It's very family friendly. I love introducing kids to art. And this is a great place to do it because you can do it on your own speed and you can run around and you can do all the things that kids want to do and then be able to get introduced to art. You never know how something like that can impact the rest of their lives. So look at your children, your grandchildren, your niece, your nephews, neighborhood kids, have them come down and enjoy the community and also get to meet some very creative individuals and their art. The suggested hours are Friday from 6 to 10. Saturday, it kicks off at noon and goes till 8 o'clock. And Sunday, again, it kicks off at noon and goes to about 5 o'clock. Linda.
Yes.
You have the Spatial Effects Gallery. You opened that back in 2015. And you also have a great theater background that brings a lot of flair and excitement to the work that you do, which I love. But you really want to talk about the Minnesota local artists that you're going to be featuring in your spatial gallery. Tell me about them.
Well, we show the work of more than 25 Minnesota artists, one from as far away as Grand Marais, but most local to the Twin Cities area. We have handmade furniture that our other company, the one we started in 1978. We design and build that and show it in the gallery. But we also have paintings, sculpture, drawings, photographs, ceramics, and some unusual disciplines like glass objects and carved gourds. So there's really a big variety for people to choose from.
You have worked on some. Tell us about Crunch.
Oh, well, we opened Third Street Studios in 1978, and we're three partners, and our background is theater and fine arts. And when we started the business, we were still doing theater, commercial displays, mascot costumes, and that's where Crunch comes in. He was my design originally, and I think he was kind of groundbreaking because he was a not cartoonish but muscular and strong and all wolf, but still friendly to children. And it was quite the experience. Mascot costumes were always interesting. I also did one for the Philadelphia Eagles. I would do a lot of work for Target. They used to do costumes every year. So it was a big part of our business for a while.
I just love that. I also like that it perhaps gave a more friendly face to wolves, because I think wolves sometimes get a bad rap. So it's nice on that end too, to create kind of a warm spirit towards the wolf. So have you been doing the art crawl for about 5 years now?
Well, it may have been right since 2015, but we've done it, COVID years were kind of a problem, but, we've done it every time it was offered in the community, and it's always an amazing weekend.
What do you like best about it?
I think what I like best is that so many people who have never come out to look at artwork come out because it's an event. And it, as you said earlier, it's child friendly. If you're lucky, the weather is wonderful and people come out and for the first time consider that they could own some artwork to make their lives bigger and better.
If folks are interested in having furniture designed, is that something that you work with them on?
Oh, absolutely. We work directly with people, and we go to their homes and see what they need and talk to them. I mean, over the years, I've designed furniture that I based on a piece of jewelry that someone owned, and other times it's just something that's completely practical that they need. So, that's what we provide is, whatever someone needs or wants.
Was there something in particular about the piece of jewelry, an image or something about the style that it just seems to be kind of hard to take a piece of jewelry and figure out how to do furniture. What was that like?
Well, a lot of our furniture uses more than one material. So it'll be wood and metal or other types of materials. So in designing the piece of furniture, considering the jewelry, it was in the metal details that I put on the table that I designed.
Nice. And if someone came to you and said, I like mid-century, I love the cool, that modern back in the mid-century, is that something that you like to go back and figure out how to work that into their home after being in their home?
Absolutely. One of the things about the theater background is that you can't design for the theater and reject periods of history. If you're doing a traditional Shakespeare, you do it in the period when it was written. Not that you can't do it in modern dress as well, but the point is you can't reject styles even if you don't want to live with every style yourself. So I love something about every period of history and every style of design, and I'm more than happy to do something in one of those
Imaginative.
periods for people.
Absolutely. And your view of art in general, it sounds like, is very influenced from your theater background. That there's creativity within boundaries. There's the yes and to create something. Tell me more about how that shaped your view of art.
Well, theater is a very collaborative activity, and we consider our approach to our gallery as a series of conversations. The artist has a internal dialogue as they're creating a piece of artwork, but then when they put it out for the public to see, it's more about what the viewer brings to the piece of artwork. And I've been really surprised at how different people can respond to the same painting or the same sculpture. You know, that one person will see something as very sad, and another person will see it as very peaceful. So I think, in a way, the artist has to let go of their piece of artwork when they put it out into the world and let the viewer make their own decisions. But I also think that there's a conversation between a specific piece of art and what's around it, other artwork or other objects in your home. And most people don't live in a home with long walls that are all white where they can simply spread out their artwork. So they have to accept these conversations between different things. And I think, it could just be color or it could be form. But there's more to a piece of artwork than its original intent. It lives in an environment, and that environment changes, and it has to continue that conversation for you to continue to enjoy it.
I love
And
that.
I always tell people it's a good idea to move your artwork around because you see it in different ways, and it says something different to you as time moves on.
And it also has different relationships with the art around it that create a new way of thinking or looking at it. I love the idea
Absolutely.
that art has relationship with another piece of art. I'd never thought about that. That's a fabulous new idea for me.
Well, if you come to the gallery, I can point all those things out to you.
I will have to do that. I do have pieces of art that my family I was very blessed of having family that took me to art fairs and when we lived in California, especially, and they bought me art that I adored and I still have. And then it made an impact on me on wanting to have art that I could pass down and cherish. And it's just because I look at the art and not only love the art, but remember that time, and
Exactly.
I think that the crawl provides us context that's part of memory building, and part of, what's important. And as we were talking earlier about how COVID made an impact of figuring out the introspection of who we are and perhaps coming up with an image that we would like to tattoo. I think it also gave us a sense of how important community is and how rich being able to be in community. And how amazing, the second look at the art crawl now that we can actually go out and do it, gives us a deeper appreciation for each other and for art as well.
Yes, it does.
Well, Linda, give us your website so that folks can learn more about the work that you do. And on your website, do you also have some of the artists mentioned there, or just that you do a gallery with artists?
Well, the website is spatialeffectsgallery.com, and we do have the artists mentioned there, though we continue to add new artists. So we could be better about updating it.
Well, that just means they have to come down and take a look, right?
That's right.
And what weekend are you doing it?
The 5th, 6th, and 7th.
All right. So put it on your calendar for May. And also, if you want to learn more information about the Art Crawl in general, you can go to the stpaulartcollective.org. And then when you get there, you'll see the Art Crawl events that you can click on. So stay with us. We have the Master Framers next to learn more about the work that they've done over the years with the Art Crawl. Thanks so much for listening to Connections Radio Show, where we talk about fun things like the St. Paul Art Crawl. Stay with us.
The Merity family of companies serves seniors and people with a wide range of disabilities. We provide home health care, hospice services, and accessible rental housing. This is Mary T, and we'd like you to join us. We're hiring direct care professionals, CNAs, nurses, and other support services. Our mission is to provide quality, personalized services to meet the unique and evolving needs of the people that we serve. Join a Minnesota family-owned company that was founded on a history of care. Apply today at marytinc.com/careers.
With all the convenient big box stores that sell appliances, why do so many Minnesotans choose Warner Stellian? Check online to learn that Warner Stellian is a Minnesota family-owned business for over 60 years. Warner Stellian sells more brands than anyone else, and our passionate specialists are committed to impressing you so much that you'll refer us to everyone you know. That's our mission here at Warner Stellian. Ask around. Check us out online. And when it's your time to buy appliances, join over 300,000 Minnesota homeowners and choose the specialists, Warner Stellian.
Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood restaurant in the Whittier neighborhood at 26th and Lindale. Nightingale has patio, dining room, and bar seating available. Plus, they still have takeout and delivery. Their menu has lots of delicious options like the famous Nightingale burger and fries, ginger tamari chicken wings, smoked chicken liver pate, and more. They're open from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily with their full menu until midnight. So make the friendly neighborhood Nightingale your go-to restaurant in South Minneapolis. Place an order, make a reservation, and more at nightingalempls.com.
This is New Beginnings, hosted by award-winning broadcaster and speaker Freddie Bell.
Freddie, this generation of the baby boomers, people are living longer, so the baby boomers are taking care of elderly parents.
Let's talk about your health, and specifically, let's talk about Medicare. Our show features the concerns of America's 78 million baby boomers in employment, finance, health and nutrition, and even entertainment.
Join us for New Beginnings, Saturday mornings at 11, brought to you in part by Vision Loss Resources.
Next Chapter Booksellers is gearing up for an exciting spring with some big names on the event schedule. Over the next few weeks, they'll host Keith Ellison, Kat Howard, Nana Kwame Adjabrenya, Samantha Irby, Luis Orea, and more. Mark your calendars for these can't-miss events and find the author schedule at nextchapterbooksellers.com. And graduations, holidays, and birthdays coming up, Next Chapter Booksellers is full of great gift ideas like books, puzzles, and games. That's Next Chapter Booksellers off Snelling and Grand in St. Paul.
Do you believe in ghosts? Ever wondered if aliens from other planets visit the Earth? Have you ever thought about whether Bigfoot is real? My name is Greg Bakken, and on my new show, Ghostbox Radio, we'll have these conversations about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, or just the unusual, bringing together guests who are experts in these fields. Join me every Sunday at 4 p.m. for Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken on AM 950, even if you're a skeptic.
Welcome back to Connections Radio Show. I'm Lori Fitz, your host, and we've had a wonderful day talking about the St. Paul Art Crawl, which I highly encourage you to go down and check it out. There are 10 districts. You can find out which district is going on by going to the stpaulartcollective.org. There are events April 14th through the 16th, so right now. There are events next week, 21st through the 23rd. Then we also have events 28th through the 30th and May 5th through the 7th. And we have some delightful artists and supporter of artists on our show today. Tim, thank you so much for sharing about the Lower Town Lofts Artist Cooperative.
Glad to do it.
Yeah, it was great to have you also share about your visual diary that it would be fun to come down and see. We have Alex Hall from the Northern Belle Tattoo.
Thank you for having me.
And we were just talking about the evolution of tattoo art and how more artists are specializing.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the shift in the industry.
From just picking a picture to really creating art together, which I love the collaborative sense of that. And we have Linda Casson, who just shared with us about the Spatial Effects Gallery.
Wonderful to be here today.
We're so grateful that you are. It created a little conversation with Andrew. Andrew and I are going to go next here on talking about his master framers. Andrew is sharing something that you said that really hit him. And I'm going to let Andrew, you go ahead and share.
Well, I'll start with Master Framers is a locally owned picture framing shop located in the heart of Lower Town St. Paul, where we do everything from children's refrigerator art and concert posters to Rembrandts and Picassos for museums and collectors. And Linda had brought up not being able or not wanting to avoid any styles of design as framers. If somebody brings in something of a very specific period, we try to frame it to that period, whether we appreciate mid-century modern or we appreciate the Louis the 15th style frame. Sometimes this is what we create.
And you are, as you said, in a neighborhood. And you, the original Roger Nielsen was the original person who you bought this from.
Yes.
And he basically bought an abandoned warehouse in Lower Town.
Roger and his former partner were in the Rossmore originally, and Roger married Janet Hahn as they moved over to an abandoned warehouse. I believe they were squatting to start with and then bought it. The 262 Studios is what it had become. And that was around 75. Then slowly built Master Framers out from there.
And they became experts in hand finishing and hand carving as well.
Correct. So we do what normal picture framers do. We can do the chop and join that you can find at Michael's and any mall shop, but we also custom mill our own profiles and hand finishing, whether it's staining, painting, 22 karat gold leaf.
And there is an art in that.
There is. I don't like to call myself an artist. I don't want to offend artists.
But you are.
I'm a craftsman.
I'm a craftsman. You collaborate. There's a collaborative aspect to your work to make sure that it honors the intent or the period.
Yeah, it's problem solving. We do a lot of problem solving.
Well, they're folks that must really think you do a good job. We've got Minneapolis Institute of Arts, the Des Moines Arts Center, South Dakota Art Museum, the Minnesota State Capitol, George Bush Presidential Library, and you just mentioned the Portrait Gallery a little while back as well. You must be very proud.
Oh, very. It's the artists themselves and our connection with them is how we get these jobs. Typically, these institutions don't directly, the museums directly reach out to us, but if a governor is getting his portrait done, it's the artist that recommends us or comes to us for that.
So this must be a really wonderful time to have the art crawl and to connect with artists and connect with folks that are perhaps buying art and wanting to work with you in creating something special for their home.
Yeah. Well, Master Framers, during the art crawl, we turn our showroom basically into a gallery, and we have kind of a core group of artists, and then we invite a rotating group of artists in also. So we'll have like Jack Dant, a plein air painter, Bob Brock and ceramic fish, Gwen Crabb does practical ceramics, Jan Hahn does textiles and cross stitch on pillows, Kel Thielen, bowls, vessels, with decorative bookbinding materials. Janine Pringle does drawings and paintings. We're lucky to have Stuart Lockridge this time. Has decided not to do art crawl in his own studio. He's going to be in ours. He's a wonderful printmaker. And a new jeweler that we haven't shown before, Sarah Jo. I haven't even seen her stuff yet. I'm looking forward to that.
And you'll be able to, someone coming to your place will be able to purchase this art.
Can purchase all of it, yes.
Wonderful.
And we'll give tours too, to see kind of what we do, show off.
The craft.
I've told people if somebody sent me back in time 1,000 years, I could get a job as a picture framer and a gilder. A lot of it has not changed.
It's a timeless.
Yep.
Well, what the other thing that I think is interesting is that there's so many different price points that no one should ever feel like, wait a minute, art, I don't know if I can afford that.
I think
you mentioned jewelry, print, fine art, painting. It all depends on what strikes you and what you can afford. And I always encourage people to just look for one piece at least to take home from the art crawl.
Yeah, I think the art crawl is great for getting together with friends and family or a date and travel around. And no matter what you think art is, you're going to find out that it's even more vast than you thought.
Absolutely. What do you love best about the art crawl?
Seeing family and coming in, friends that we don't always see, our customers coming in. Also, it's a chance for us to clean up our space and throw a new coat of paint on the walls, that sort of thing.
Well, give us your website.
Masterframers.com. That's Masterframers plural. And also check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We try to post regularly.
Perfect. Alex, what's your favorite
My favorite
thing from the art crawl?
Oh,
is this your first year?
This is my first year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sorry.
Your favorite thing we'll
I'll let
find
you
out
know.
next year. Linda, what's your favorite thing about the art crawl?
Well, I think I'm just going to repeat what Alex said. I mean, so many of our past customers and clients come in, and also many of the artists stop in. So the public and the artists can talk about their artwork, which is really eye-opening to people. They love to ask artists how they accomplish a specific thing and how they work.
I do. I love sometimes just eavesdropping on those conversations and just hearing where artists go. And I agree. There are times when someone takes something away from an art that the artist looks at them like, you got that out of it? Well, cool. It's not what I was intending, but cool. It does become to have a life of its own. Tim, my friend, what do you like best?
I really like the sense of community that happens during that weekend. It's great that it's one of the times that we all come together as artists in the building, and we really see what we're accomplishing over the year, and also just the people that it brings into the building. I have friends that go back decades that I get to see.
And thank you, Tim. I got to wrap. So
Okay.
I love having everyone share about what they love. You can go to the stpaulartcollective.org and you can learn more about the art crawl and all the different places to go and things to see. Thanks for joining us on Connections Radio Show here on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Thank you, Laura.
No matter if you're eating out or cooking something at home, eatlocalminnesota.com has you covered with a list of locally owned restaurants and food purveyors. Locally owned Vinaigrette has been offering the finest olive oil and vinegar since 2009. Reintroduce yourself to all the many flavors by tasting before you buy. From darker white balsamic to cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil from all over the world, there is something for everyone. Vinaigrette, located at 50th and Xerxes in Minneapolis, or at vinaigrettemn.com. The Park Tavern is your go-to destination for fun. Enjoy the fantastic food like their pizzas, burgers, and sandwiches, the best bowling in Minnesota, their wildly popular outdoor patio, great drink specials, all the big games on their numerous screens, and it's the perfect place for your next
Everybody should be there now.
All right. I'll get my headset back on. Well, Linda and Tim, how'd you feel?
Good.
Great.
Good.
Sorry, I went on a little bit long there at the
Oh,
end.
no. You didn't realize I was needing to wrap up.
Yeah.
You offered some very good suggestions, and that's exactly what I wanted. Do you want your camera? Do you want to use that to get okay? And then do you have a camera? Do you want your picture?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we can look like we're talking if you want.
Great.
Although we close. And we'll just continue to have our conversation, and you'll get a good one next for our master framer.
Thank
There
you.
Go. And we'll send you pictures. We're sorry you're not here, but we're pictures for
Great.
publicity.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, Dan, thank you very much for this.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, he's going to get artsy on us.
The low profile.
Yeah. Kids there. I never look good in these. I've just sort of accepted that I don't. I'm always in motion. I've always had that problem where my face always looks distorted.
When somebody asks me to take their photo as a group, I usually just start snapping photos right away. And
that's
it's
a good
great
idea.
with digital cameras and phones, because then you can just erase a bunch of them.
The ones that are really distorted.
Yep. Well, the candid ones are usually better.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
All right. Well, do you guys have Tim and Linda, do you have any questions?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Was nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk with you as well. And then
Thank you, Tim and Linda.
We'll aim
Yeah.
to get the podcast up by this afternoon. And you can get to it by am950radio.com. Come to a page and you'll see my logo